There is nothing worse than not being able to sleep very well at night. So I'm gonna walk you through a routine that gives you some deep stretches, winds your body down, releases that tension through your whole body, and you are gonna be sleeping so great tonight. Let's get started. Okay, let's climb down on the floor and begin on your hands and knees. So fingertips are spread, knees are directly below your hips. Whatever's more comfortable for you, if you want to keep your toes tucked or have your ankles laying flat on the floor, either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to start with your shoulders here. So keeping your elbows locked out and almost the backs of your elbows like pointing towards your knees, so you can kind of spin your elbows around. That's going to keep them locked out. Let's go ahead and let your shoulder blades slide together and then press your shoulder blades apart. So we call these shoulder glides. I love these for just bringing a little bit of attention and awareness to those posture muscles. This is where you carry a lot of tension and stress from the day happens in these neck and shoulder muscles. Make sure that your head is staying neutral. Keep your eyes looking at the floor. We're just allowing your chest to press through and press those shoulder blades apart. Let's do 2 more of these, nice and gentle. Slide your shoulder blades together, press them apart. 1 more. Slide them together, press them apart. So now let's find kind of the midpoint between those 2 positions. We're going to take your tailbone and tuck it under. It's almost like the bottom half of like the cat-cow movement you may have done in yoga before. You're going to arch your tailbone up to the sky. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Tuck your tailbone under, squeezing your core. You can even squeeze your pelvic floor in that moment. And then arch your tailbone up to the sky. Tuck your tailbone under. Once again, your low back and those deep hip muscles are where you might carry a lot of tension from your day. So we're trying to release those, bring awareness to those areas, squeezing your tailbone under, engaging your core, arching it up to the sky. Let's do 1 more just like that. Tuck your tailbone under. Let's add an exhale in this moment. And then arch your tail up to the sky. Good job. Go ahead and find neutral, so kind of the midpoint between those 2 extremes. I want you to take your left hand, your knuckles are facing the floor now. We're going to wrap your knuckles underneath your body as far as you can get them, and then unwind that arm and stretch it up to the sky, creating this big rotational reach. Try to keep your hips quiet, not moving side to side with your hips at all. Do that again. Wrap your knuckles as far under as you can get them. It's okay if this elbow bends. Reach it up to the sky. Let's go 1 more just like that. Wrap it under further this time, a little further. Reach it up to the sky. This time we're going to wrap it under. We're going to rest down in this position. So let that left shoulder sit down on the floor. Feels kind of like this wrapped under stretch here. You can bring that top hand, hold it out of the way. Make sure that there's no pressure on your head, on your neck. You can relax your head down on the floor. We're going to take 3 full deep breaths in this position. One more inhale and exhale. Press through your right hand to rise back up. Plant your left hand on the floor. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So reach your knuckles under as far under as you can, feeling your shoulder blades spread apart. And then reach that arm really high up to the sky. Tuck that arm under again. And then unwind and stretch it up to the sky. I always like to think about really opening up my chest to the side. 1 more like this. Reach it under. Stretch up to the sky. This last one here, we're going to rest down on that shoulder. Reach, reach, reach as far apart as you can in that very last second. Set that right shoulder down on the floor. Let's prop this left hand out above your head. You can turn your head to find what position is the most comfortable for your head and for your neck. A couple deep breaths here. One more deep breath. Press through your left hand to rise up. and find your way to that kneeling position again. I want you to take this left foot and we're gonna spin it off to the left. So we're gonna just pivot on your knee and kick that left foot off to the left. And then we're gonna peel your body open to the right, so it's almost like this modified side plank. Press your hips through, squeezing your glutes. You're gonna get this release through your hips, and then stretch that right arm really far over the line of your ear. Keep pressing your hips forward. This is a very active stretch. It should feel strong. It should feel stable. It should feel like you're getting this release at this top hip. Strong through this bottom shoulder. And release that hand back down to the floor. Spin your body back to the start. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So kick the right foot off, spinning your body, peeling yourself open to the left. Really press your hips through. Squeeze your glutes to help press them forward. Stretching that left arm over the line of your ear. Looking up underneath your left armpit. Pressing the ground away from you. Big deep breaths. Strong through the shoulder, feeling that release through the top hip. And spin yourself back down to the start. We're gonna release off the hands, sitting all the way back onto your heels, reaching your body forward. Resting in our child's pose. One more inhale and exhale. Let's go ahead and rise up. We're gonna make your way to your side body. So lay on your side, almost like you're in this fetal position, okay? And I want you to bring your knees up to hip level, maybe even slightly higher than your hips. And then we're gonna take that top knee and slide it forward so that top knee is a little bit more forward than your bottom knee, and anchor it there. Your hands are going to be what I like to call alligator hands. So one hand is on top of the other one. We're going to reach that top arm forward as far as you can, kind of sliding out, and then open that top arm out behind you like you're an open book here. And then we're not going to stay there yet. Bring that top hand back to where it started. Do that again. Slide that top arm forward first to feel that activation through your right shoulder. And then lay that arm open behind you. Exhale here. And bring it back. One more just like that. Slide that top arm open. And then reach it out behind you. Keep those knees high. It's okay if those knuckles don't quite touch the floor. And go ahead and release back to where you started. Okay, so from here, we're gonna flip over. We gotta do the other side now. Okay, so my back will be to you for just a moment, but I will pull open. So knees are tucked up to hip level. Keep that top knee slightly more forward. Hands are stacked like alligator arms. Stretch that top arm forward, and then we're gonna lay it open out behind you. Your first one, your knuckles might not quite touch. That's okay, let gravity take over. Let's rewind back to where it started. Do that again, stretch that top arm, sliding that arm forward as far as you can, and then lay that arm out behind you. Let's make sure that your knees are still where they should be. Top knee is slightly more forward. Knees are tucked up towards your shoulders. Bring it back to the start position. Slide that top arm forward as far as you can get it, and then reach it out. Once you find that end range, go ahead and exhale. Another inhale here. On your exhale, let gravity take over and pull that arm down. Go ahead and bring that hand back to where you started. And we're gonna make your way all the way onto your back at this point. So find a comfortable position on your back. Just feeling the ground support you, starting to notice If you've got any muscles or spots on your body that are still carrying that tension, if it's your hips, we're gonna hit that area next, okay? So grab your left knee, hug it into your chest, squeezing that knee into your chest. If this feels great, we can take that right leg and extend it out along the floor. And I want you to notice that when we extend that right leg, you might get a little bit of a stretch on that right hip flexor. So right at the top of that right hip. So not only are we doing a stretch on this knee to chest hugging side, but also through your right hip flexor. Let's go ahead and grab behind this left thigh now and press your left heel up towards the sky as far as you can. It's okay if your knee is still slightly bent. This is a really good active stretch through your hamstring, through your calf. We can even move that ankle, rolling it in circles. Let's switch directions. Painting a circle on the ceiling with your toes. And then go ahead and bend your knee, bend your right knee too. We're gonna cross your ankle over the right knee, making sure that your hips are not shifting or swiveling to the side. Allow your left knee to get heavy and press away from you. You could stay here, this might be enough, or if you want to add to it, you can pick the whole unit up off the floor. You can even thread your hands through that gap, reach behind the back of that right thigh, and squeeze your legs towards you, making sure that as you squeeze, you're not picking your hips up off the floor. Keep your hips anchored to the floor. We're going to do a couple deep breaths here. One more deep breath. It's so common to carry so much tension in the hips from the day, whether you've been sitting or walking or standing for long periods of time. This helps so much. Let's go ahead and gently release. Uncross your legs. We're gonna hug the right knee in towards your chest now. Hug it in tight. This could be just fine right here, or if you're able to, extend that left leg all the way out straight. Let that left leg go heavy. You can almost feel the skin release across your glutes, right down the backside of your thigh, maybe even the base of your back. Let's extend this leg now by just gripping behind your right thigh. Make sure your leg is straight up to the ceiling and not flopped out to the side. We're gonna press your heel up as straight as you can get that leg. This is a very active stretch down the backside of your hamstring. See if in this position, we're gonna paint circles on the ceiling with your foot. So rolling your ankle, you might get some snap, crackle, pop. Totally normal, nothing to worry about. Let's switch directions with your circles. See if you can even flare your toes open, create a lot of space between your toes. That feels so good for your feet at the end of the day. Let's cross that knee now, or bend the knee, and we're gonna cross that ankle over the other knee. You can start with your feet just planted on the floor in this just gentle figure 4 position. You can gently press that right knee away from you as long as it's not causing your hips to swivel. If this feels fine and you want to go a little deeper with this, you can pick the whole unit up, grab behind your left thigh, and squeeze your hips towards your torso. Make sure you're only pulling your legs. You don't want to be rounding your back or pulling your back up off the floor. Your tailbone should feel like it's glued to the floor. You might be clenching through your shoulders. Let's bring some awareness to that area. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Go ahead and slowly release this stretch. Release that foot down to the floor, and I want you to put the soles of your feet together so that your knees flop open and your legs are creating this diamond shape. If this does not feel comfortable for you, you can have your feet just planted like a basic bridge without lifting the hips. But if you're able to bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees flop open, gravity's gonna take over, and then we're gonna lay the arms open beside your body like they're a cactus. So your knuckles are on the floor, chest is open. We're really winding down now. You can even close your eyes. Full deep breaths. Tune into your low back, see what's happening there. See if it feels better to tuck your tail a little bit or to let it just release. Big deep breaths. Let your arms go limp, let them go heavy. There's no effort, no work happening through your shoulders, happening through your neck. One more deep breath in this position. In. Exhale. Let's go ahead and take your legs and extend them out long. We're finishing in just a really relaxed position here. If you want to keep your arms where they are, if that feels really comfortable for you, another option is to actually hug them across your chest or to lay them just right at your sides. You might need to tip your tail, kind of shift your pelvis to find where your body feels the most supported by the floor. Let your ankles go limp. Let your shoulders release. If you're carrying tension through your neck and shoulders, try to let your jaw go loose. Inhale and exhale through your nose only. Draw the air into your belly through your nose. Fill it up as far as you can. And then a really gentle, unforced exhale through your nose. Inhale again. Exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Your body is really relaxed. There's no tension. Go ahead and breathe naturally on your own for a few more deep breaths. I'll wake you in a moment. Let's go one more deep breath. Exhale. We're going to make your way back up off the floor. You can bend your knees, roll onto your side, and lift yourself up. So hopefully you feel like your entire body has been de-stressed, no more tension being held anywhere. Sometimes when you go to bed and you've got tension in spots, that will keep you awake and make it so you can't sleep very well. So do this one again. Let me know too in the comments if this helps improve your sleep. I want you to sleep so well. I would love to hear from you as well. Maybe let me know which of those stretches was your absolute favorite. I have another video that's a lot like this one that I think you might really enjoy too. Definitely go check it out. Thanks for joining me today.